This is a video to go into the initial sales process of making a cold call. This is the very beginning, the first thing you do when you go to a house, when you're making a cold call. And this isn't, this will work for residential neighborhoods. This is more targeted towards your residential customers. It also works for businesses, but more of like the mom and pop type businesses, not the gatekeeper type of businesses. But let me jump into it. The first thing that you want to do, I'm only going to go over a few points, and if you guys want more, you can leave comments below. So the first thing you want to always do is you always want to be moving somewhat quickly. We don't know if that person is watching you get out of your car or walk up to the house. Always be moving at a brisk pace. You want to be looking like you are out and busy and got a lot of people to call on. And let's face it, whether you're new in this business or you've been around a long time, if you're making cold calls, you got to make a lot of them to make money or to find that next sale. So you should be moving quickly. But check number one, be moving quickly with a little bit of purpose. When you walk up to someone's door, don't just be moseying along. If you're moseying along up there and you run into somebody that's a talker, guess what? They feel like you just can sit down at their table and talk to them all day. If you're moseying up to the door, who wants to do business with somebody that is just lollygagging around all day? You want to do business with the guy that's moving and shaking. So make sure that you hustle up to the door, kind of a fast pace, fast walk. When you get to the door, I never ring the doorbell. I always knock first. So if there's a screen door, I open that screen door and I knock on the actual door. So checkpoint number two, knock on the actual door. Avoid using the doorbell and don't knock on the screen door. Try to open the screen door and knock on the actual door. If the screen's locked, then go ahead and knock on the screen. When you knock, point number three, don't do the everyday boring knock that you were taught. So for example, don't do this. That is the most boring knock I've ever heard. And if someone knocks at my door like that, the very first thing I think is this person on the other side of the door is going to be boring. And it's going to be dragging me away from something I'm already working on. Like, who is it? Why? I guess I got to get this guy out of here. That's what I'm thinking. So when you knock on the door, make it a more of a curiosity thing. So an example of something that I always do when I knock on the door is I just use a rhythm. So this is an example of that. Basically, all you're doing is just choosing like a pattern, like a drum pattern or something. Knock on the door with that rhythm. When someone hears that, they have some curiosity. So you want someone coming to the door with curiosity versus feeling like they're going to be burdened by you. So if nobody comes to the door after one or two knocks, before you leave, do make sure you try the doorbell, because maybe you knocked, but it's a two-story house and they're in the back doing something and they never even heard your knock. So use the doorbell after you've knocked on the door and you wait for a while. If no one comes to the door, probably nobody's home, but just in case, while you're standing there for an extra 10 seconds or so, go ahead and hit the doorbell and sit and stand there and wait a little bit longer. Now, the first thing you want to do when someone does come to the door is you're going to want to say your name and what you're doing in the neighborhood. That sounds really easy, but this is the finer point that I'm bringing up. Don't mention what you're selling. Keep it very basic and very broad. Because when you learn this technique, when you get fired from your company or you aren't successful there, you can still take this technique anywhere with you. So make it more about you and less about the company you're with today. So an example would be when they come to the door, say, "My name is," put your name in there, and then say, "I'm in the neighborhood because I have an appointment later, and I'm trying to expand my business in this area. Would you have time to talk later today or right now?" Or another example, I'll go through a couple of them. "My name is," say it, "I'm going to be in the neighborhood till Friday. Do you have any time today or tomorrow to get together? I have a lot of customers in this area, but I'm really trying to expand my area. I just want to network a little bit." That type of thing. Because you don't really know what you want from that customer. I know you as a salesperson, you always think you know what you want. Okay, so I'm going to go through an example. What if somebody's selling vacuums and they knock on my door? Well, I don't have a carpet in my house. I have hardwoods everywhere. So all the salesperson could possibly want from me, if I was to change places with him, is he'd want to come in and say, "Hey, do you know anybody else? Does anybody in the area, you know, their vacuum cleaner might have broke down? I just looking for some referrals." See, I might want referrals from that person. I might want that person to actually purchase something. I don't know what that person's situation is, and I don't know who they know, and I don't know any of this. So all I want to do is network with them. It doesn't matter what I'm selling. I could be selling a service for doing, let's say, lawn service. I could be doing selling solar panels that go up on the person's roof. I don't know anything about that person's situation, so there's no way I could make a recommendation that they buy anything from me. So all you're doing, no matter what business you're in, is networking with people. So always leave it that way. My name, example again, my name is, I'm in the area because I have an appointment or because I have a lot of clients in the area and I had an extra couple hours and I just want to stay busy and I want to expand my business in your neighborhood and I want to see if you had some time to talk today or tomorrow. Pretty simple. Once you get that line down, you can use that in any business everywhere. So I'll go over those checkpoints real quick that I've went over in this video. I'll sum it up. Make sure you hustle when you're going up to someone's door. Always knock on the actual door if you can, unless the screen is locked. Don't use the doorbell unless nobody comes to the door after you've waited for about 10 or 15 seconds. Check number 3 is that after they come to the door and you've used your unique knock on the door, then tell them your name, tell them you have other clients or an appointment in the area, and you want to have some time to sit with them if they have a little bit of time. You should be the one who starts that whole conversation and gets it to that point. There's further things that you might have a problem with or that you're running into when you're out on a cold call. If so, go ahead and leave some comments down below and I'll make another video and try to address those or just get back to you on the comments. All right, take care and make sure you hit subscribe.